Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another layout for 31 days of cut files, and we are starting a new week with a new set of cut files. And these cut files today are about the great outdoors. So the first file that we are going to be working with is this really cool heart file that has these awesome mountains in one of the humps of the heart. I'm also going to be using this wood veneer that says time for an adventure. I have a sticker that says explore your world that is left over from the Simple Stories Lake Life collection. From one of the embellishment clusters that I bought from Scrapbook Addict is this more set. I've already used the word explore that came with it. I have this felt strip of trees that I'm going to try to use up. I have 3 cut out arrows that I created sometime a couple months ago, I believe. And then from Scrappin' Happy Studio, I have their brand new Junket book flare. That I absolutely love. So I'm going to try and see if I can't flatten that. And I also have this epoxy flare that says, let's explore more. I'm not really sure which one I end up using, but I think I only end up using one. I also have these little leaves that are left over from I think they were February's monthly box from Minte. I have this gorgeous leather piece from the Great Outdoors, and it is gorgeous. And then it has this beautiful plaid on the other side. I'm going to use both sides to finish off this pocket page here. So what I'm going to do is actually mount my photos on both sides of this. These are the Devil's Post piles that I have been talking about. It is a beautiful geological site that is nature made, absolutely amazing. One of these days, I'm actually going to do the signs for these, and then I can tell you more about them instead of just sharing the pictures of us being there. It's been a while since I have actually done one of my lessons learned layouts for you guys. I've just been trying to get ahead in life and just getting to the nitty gritty of what is in my layouts. You guys, I apologize about that. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is ink the edges of both sides of my paper. I just felt like it helps tell the story with being in pocket cards. I'm going to decorate the 4x6 card on this plaid side and then the 2x12 strip on the leather side. So that way I've got both sides covered, but I really liked this plain plaid piece left all by itself down on the 2x12 strip. So I'm going to end up doing that. Once I get all of my pictures glued down, I'm going to put them back in their pocket page because most of these pockets are full of pictures. So I'm not even worried about covering up the dead spaces or anything, because I really don't have a whole lot of dead spaces. I did not really want to take away from any of these pictures at all. So these are the 2 pieces that I'm going to be working with. One is going to be on the leather side and the other one is going to be on this plaid side. So I'm going to take my, excuse me, I'm going to take my heart, and the first thing I'm going to do is whatever gray or black ink is left on my sponge, I'm going to ink the messy part of the heart, and I'm going to save the mountain part for a for a green, whatever color green I have on my blending brush, right? So I'm going to work with that. I think I ended up with black on that one sponge, but then of course, because it's a little on the lighter side. Now I was going to start with the green and it was a little bit too green for the plaid. So then I picked up my, my teal brush or aqua brush. I think it's more teal. I think aqua is more blue. And I really did like how that matched a little bit better, but I'm going to blend in both green and that aqua color, and then go back in a little bit more with the black where I felt like I got a little bit too much green on, and call that good. Now, I didn't like how it now blends in to my plaid. So I'm going to add a little bit of this brown cardstock that I had left over from cutting out my rope cut file from last month. Yeah, I haven't cleaned my desk, you guys. It is ridiculous. I know I did a video about cleaning up my desk, but I did not put my papers away just yet that were immediately on my desk. So I apologize about that. So for this particular type of cut file, I wanted to trace this. Now I know I just got done saying I don't do that. I don't like to do that, but I wanted to do a technique on this wood grain background that I haven't done in a while. And I couldn't do that if it was already glued to the cut file. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a tool. It's just called a ball stylus, and it's actually part of my take your pick tool. And I was so lazy, I just pulled it right out of my take your pick tool and started using the ball portion of it. And what I'm doing is creating a wood grain look on the backside of my cut out piece for this cut file. And then I'm taking my brown ink pad, dipping it into walnut stain ink, and I'm going to try to bring up those wood grain indents that I just put in to create a wood grain paper. This is how I create all of my wood grains. I absolutely love doing this technique, and I think that it brings out this little heart so beautifully. I really do enjoy having this wood grain inside this mountain heart. It just gives it a totally different feel. Now I'm also going to take my scissors and cut away where the messy part of the heart is peeking out. I really didn't want those brown. So I'm going to trim away pretty close to get rid of those, so that way they are not brown underneath, and just the inside of the heart is brown. I'm also going to take all of these leaves and go ahead and spray them with a couple of Distress Oxide sprays. Now I apologize for not knowing exactly what colors they are. But truth be told, oxides are different when it comes to spraying them on chipboard. They instantly oxidize. So in all honesty, I really didn't need to do both colors because they soak in the color so bad or so fast that when I sprayed the second color on, you really couldn't tell a difference. But I do like how they turned out looking. They are a perfect match to my plaid paper. So I'm going to go ahead and set those off to the side to dry, and I'm going to smush one of my flare. I think I actually end up smushing all of the flare, but for some reason I did it one at a time instead of the whole set. So I only show you guys that I do one, at least one. So I'm going to go ahead. That wasn't the one that I wanted originally. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the one that I wanted. These flare are beautiful. I'm just saying, they are absolutely gorgeous. They smush down beautiful. And I am going to add it to my little card here. I thought about adding it into the time piece portion of my wood veneer, and then I thought, no, it's not small enough. For one, I really did want the numbers still out there. So I opted to find a new home for it, and I think I'm going to put it right next to this tree. But now I need to figure out where to put my arrow, just as another element to add to this little card. I didn't want to just, slap on 3 little things and call it good. I could have added a little bit of splatter as well, but I opted to keep it pretty simple for this card because honestly, I want everybody to stare at the pictures. These are amazing pictures, not because I took them, but because of what they are of. So I'm going to go ahead and use this off-white color that I have from Tule Art. It is a paint pen that I just picked up on Amazon. If you type in the word Amazon, or if you type in the word Tule Art, TOOLI-ART, at the Amazon site, you will see lots of options for paint pens. And I'm just coloring in the word time and adventure because they are open-faced for you to be able to do this. And I didn't want to add in another color. I definitely didn't want to bring in more of this teal. So I opted with the off-white that I feel is in that plaid as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring up these pieces. Now this is flowing a lot better than what my green one did in a couple videos back, just because of the fact that this nib is actually clean. If your paint pens do not get their lid on all the way, the nib dries out. But if you take the nib under hot water and wash it off, and make sure that the color rejuvenates, then they work just fine again. Now, I'm not sure how many times you can do that. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that if you end up doing, or if you do end up not putting the lid all the way back on, the nib dries out, and there is a way to revive them at least once. So I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down. This is one of the wood veneer pieces that still has my old adhesive on the back. I have now switched to 3M adhesive instead of no name brand adhesive. I like the 3M adhesive as well because it is also thinner than the brand that I first started putting on my wood veneer. And then I decided to put the arrow right up at the top and then add that little flare, and I am done, so I think. Remember those leaves that I sprayed? I forgot about those. So I'm going to bring it back in and go ahead and add some of these leaves. Now, I do have to say that these leaves were so delicate that they did break on the way out of their carrier sheet. I don't know if that is for everyone or if that was just the one that I ended up with, but I don't mind that because I'm using it in such little quantities anyways. They still look really good just the way that they are. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the leather strip, and I have my tree line. I have the word more. I love mixing and matching fonts like this, so it's actually going to say explore your world more, because honestly, if I was not introduced to these post piles, I would have never known about them ever, except for now I actually see them more on Facebook. Is that because Wiretap is listening in? I don't know. But I have seen a few posts about another set of post piles somewhere else, and it looks like a giant pillar in the middle of nowhere. They're not surrounded by all these trees and things like this set here is. So I'm not really sure exactly where those are, but I know these ones are up the hill of Mammoth. If you go to Mammoth Lake and you go up the hill, you will get to go on this trail to walk to the post piles. So anyways, I've got my tree line going on. I've got my little flare, which kind of almost looks like a moon. I think it's very pretty. I went ahead and popped up the word explore your world. I'm going to put the ticket down, or the arrow down on there, and then just glue on the word more. Add a few of these leaves because I added them to the other side. I just felt like they matched really, really well. And call it a day. That is it for this layout once I get it back into the pocket page. I felt like I needed a little bit more leaves. I didn't like just having the one leaf, so I had to add another one. I thought at first over by the E would bring the leaves over, but it really didn't. It just looked forced, basically. So I went ahead and I added it to the E on the Explore. Now I am going to put the Explore more in, and as you can see, it's a little bulky and it will not stay in, or it sticks out just a little bit. So I've got these cute, teeny tiny little clips that I have picked up somewhere along the way. These ones happen to be the aqua teal color that match the rest of the layout, so I'm super happy about that. And that's all it takes to get it to stay where it's supposed to. So most of my pieces like this are either adhered on the outside or clipped in like this, so I don't mind it at all. I really do like how the clips show on both sides. And that is all that I have for you guys today. I think I've already said that too. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out to see what I am up to today. I really do enjoy it when you stop by every day. Don't forget to check out Janet Fritz's channel, who is Galaxy Girl Creations, over here on YouTube, because she is playing along with me all day long, or all month long, for 30 days of cut files. She is my partner in crime when it comes to these cut files. So please go and check out what she's up to. Again, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.